Hi there. I want to talk to you today about detoxing your trauma. I have personally spent a lot of time physically detoxing my body from pathogens while I've supported others to do the same. And I've really noticed a tremendous correlation, not coincidentally, between a physical detox and what happens in the energetic and spiritual realm when we remove some things from our body that aren't meant to be there. And today I won't just be talking about things on the physical level like mold or parasites or heavy metals in your body, but stuck and stagnant emotions, which can have a significant impact on your physical health, and the mind chatter and old stories. You know, the stuff you think and do where you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore or think this anymore. I'm like so over this, but I can't stop playing out this pattern. I'm going to talk about that today too. So in this Detox Your Trauma video, I'm going to give you some solutions, some really practical ones. And at the end of this video, I'll even breathe with you for 2 to 3 minutes of a breath pattern that I found incredibly effective for anger, irritability, and overwhelm, which I think many of us are struggling with. So I want to paint a little picture here of what I'm seeing in my work as a breathwork facilitator and plant medicine guide and coach. Most of us, and I'll put myself right there in the trenches with you, are holding on to so much stuff. Physical stuff, emotional stuff, chatter, old stories, memories, the thing that happened 10 minutes ago, the weird exchange you had at the grocery store, or the text message thing that's happening with your sister that you're like, can't stop thinking about. We have all of this happening to us at the same time while we're trying to cope with a world pandemic and maybe children and a stressful job and extreme circumstances. I mean, being alive right now is like an extreme sport. And it had been even before the pandemic with the level of media and information coming through. And now this has just really taken it to new heights for many of us. So I'm directly addressing this overwhelm to all of our nervous systems and the impact it's having, the level of anxiety, depression, symptoms of PTSD, panic attacks, sleeplessness, physical symptoms like crazy that I'm seeing in so many of you right now, and that I want you to know there are solutions for. Real solutions. And I'm going to talk about those in this video. So I was working with a new client the other day, and she was saying to me how she goes from 0 to 100 in like so quickly, right? And in under a second, I go from 0 to 100. She's describing this phenomenon where she just flips and she goes into rage or snappy comment at her husband, or, you know, like just can't handle it, like can't handle this, and it's going to come out and it's not going to be pretty. Can anybody relate? Yeah, I can. I certainly can. That is the overwhelm of your nervous system happening there. And when I said to this client, I want you to consider that you're not going from 0 to 100, that you're going from like 94 to 100 in that moment. Her mind was blown, right? Because she felt like, no, I'm fine, right? I'm fine because I'm coping, because I'm holding it together, right? And then as soon as something just brings me to the edge, I'm going to spill over. You weren't fine here, holding it together, not expressing how you felt, not asking for what you needed, right? Not having regular releases of energy and purging, right? Be it breath work, orgasm, a good cry, a conversation, writing in your journal, 5 minutes of meditation, going for a run, right? There's so many ways that we can start to relieve some of what's built up in our systems. And I'll talk about a few of those today, but I want you to consider where you might be on that range of 0 to 100, with 100 being you in that state where you're like, this is not good. I don't want to be here, right? Or I'm curled up on the couch in fetal posture crying, right? It doesn't just have to look like exploding. It can be whatever that state is for you, where when you get to it, you're like, I got to figure out how to shift things so this is not happening all the time. That breakdown, that shutdown, or that overwhelm, right? That is your nervous system responding, and it doesn't have the capacity to do anymore. So you flip, or you crumble, or maybe you freeze. So in this video, I want to share 3 things that I believe are going on for you and just talk about some solutions, offer some solutions and perspective for you. So here you are, overwhelmed, a big ball of with so much happening. And I want you to understand first that on the physical plane, there's so much that can be shifted and that you may have even experienced shifts around to help build more capacity for you. Right? Do you remember the days when you ate a lot of fast food and, whatever your version of crappy food is, or maybe drank to excess and, it was easy to be in a crappy mood, right? And then you start eating healthier and you're like, ooh, this feels good and I'm sleeping better and my mood is a little bit better. Like those first ahas. And then you go back to the junk food or you go back to a night of like binge drinking and you flip right back into that old zone and you're like, oh my gosh, no, right? You already know that how well you take care of your body is a huge determinant for how much capacity you have for life in this body, mind, and spirit that you have. So I want to just encourage you wherever you're at in your self-nourishment journey, and that could be food or that can be like getting your shower and your self-love and hygiene in. It doesn't matter, getting yoga and that run in, right? Getting to sit down and meditate. Wherever you're at in that journey, I want you to consider just taking that one little teeny tiny notch further and thinking about detoxifying what's inside of you that needs to come out. Yes, treating yourself better and eating better and hydrating is all amazing for feeling that baseline okayness, but let's talk about pulling what's there that doesn't belong there out. I'm talking about mold, parasites, heavy metals, all sorts of bacteria and pathogens that can be in your body, plastics, pesticides, the list goes on, and this can get super depressing for some people. I don't want to do that here in this video, but I want you to know that you have foreign pathogens, let's just call them, in your system, in your body, in your tissues, in your gut, in your cells that need to come out. And, there's 1,000,001 ways to detox. And personally, I find that sweating is an incredible detox for me. It does mobilize a lot of the mold that I'm currently removing from my system. And there are targeted supplements that you can take to help you with this detoxification. I take something called Black Oxygen Organics, and I'll link to that in this video. It's basically volcanic ash or humic and fulvic acids, if you're familiar with what that is. And it acts as a binder to some of those pathogens to bind to them and escort them from the body. It's so powerful, in fact, that you start with like 1/4 teaspoon in water and then work your way up. There are many products on the market though that can work to kill and bind to pathogens. The binding is pretty important. Oil of oregano is incredible for killing pathogens, even as something as simple as grapefruit seed extract, diatomaceous earth. The list goes on and on and on. And so many binders too. I mean, charcoal is the most well-known one, but really exciting to see so many fantastic products on the market for helping us detox efficiently and not that expensively. So keep that in mind, that detoxification isn't just, oh, this maybe will make the pain in your neck and back go away, but detoxification could help your anxiety, your depression. Right? Those are symptoms, and a lot of times there's something off on the physiological plane, the physical plane really, right? What your skin bag that can be tweaked and remedied so that that mental health thing, which is not just up here, it's connected to all of you, especially your gut, so that you can experience some alleviation and some more capacity for more of you to come in. So detox on the physical plane, that's first. And then, there's detox for your emotions. So many of us, women especially, walking around at a general level of irritation at everything and everyone. And the anger that I see under that is just unbelievable. Not because, oh my gosh, look how angry these women are. Hell no. It's, oh my gosh, look at how much suppressed anger is in our systems. Because different from men who that's the one thing they get to say, get a pass on and say, this is me expressing my emotions, I'm angry. I find most women do not express their anger easily. So detoxing your anger, if you don't identify with anger, perhaps you identify with deep sadness and longing, feelings of emptiness. It doesn't matter what it is, guys. It doesn't matter what the emotion is. If it's here and uncomfortable and you've been working for a really long time to get it to stay in a certain spot, I'm here to tell you it doesn't belong in your system anymore. Emotions are meant to pass through you. And from the time we were little, we've been learning how to just get them to get shoved back somewhere in us. And that is at the root of dis-ease. In fact, all of those years I spent trying to just attack my chronic illness from the physical, right? What's wrong with my body and how do I fix it? It's become abundantly clear in the last decade that what's at the root of all of that is unexpressed emotions, trauma, and unresolved stuff in my body and in my nervous system. We all have this. There's no shame in it. And my gift to you in this video is to let you know that breathwork is incredibly powerful for moving these emotions out and through the body without having to talk about them, without having to analyze them, without having to even put a name to them, right? And you know, feel all the feels like we're supposed to feel. We want you to feel the feels, but we don't have to involve all the chaos with the feels, the guilt, the shame, the wondering, the anger, the I'm this way because of this person or that person. None of that, the research has shown, is actually helpful at healing those issues in your tissues, which is the stuck and stagnant emotions and energy in your body. And I'm going to offer you a 2-minute breathwork practice just at the end of this video to support you in ushering some of that out of your system too. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. Sad is the one that I'm always running from. And I just feel like I want you to know that here. And sometimes some people will say, but I cry all the time, right? I'm always crying, right? But they're not getting at and letting go of some of the deeper stuck stuff. And the breath work can get us there. The third thing that I want to talk about with you is the old stories and script, the chatter, the beliefs that you have about yourself that were conditioned and programmed in that are no longer relevant, that you no longer want to believe, right? All the not enoughness, usually. All of the perfectionism that might come from not having done or said that thing just quite right or good enough, right? The replaying of conversations, the holding on to resentment for years and years. All of that junk is taking up massive room inside of you. And when you say at 3 o'clock on a given day when your kids are talking and you're trying to think about what to do for dinner and doing homework and you start to blow up and you're like, well, it's just because we don't have a regular schedule around this house, right? It goes deeper than that. It's because in the back of your mind, maybe you are going over what a shitty mom you are for how you can't handle after school yet another day. And how many years have we been doing this? Right? Whatever those stories are that you are playing consciously or unconsciously on tape that are on the hard drive, those can be unhooked. Those can be put down. Those can be re-scripted. You can rewire your brain. And I'm sitting here telling you this as a living, breathing example of that. You can rewire your brain. The fastest and most efficient way that I have found to help people rewire their brains? Plant medicine, specifically psychedelics in teeny tiny doses. Not to make you trip your face off, but to allow you to look at your experience, be in your experience, and look at it curiously at that 3 o'clock at the blow up after school with the homework and say, I don't want to do that anymore. And there's no shame. And there's no fear to make the change. And there's no spinning and chaos around it. But I can't ever. And how am I ever going to, right? And I'm stuck and I'm trapped and my husband. And if this would just, blah, 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 right? Do you know that? Plant medicine can help us put down the ego, the blaming, the controlling, all of the things that we do in the face of our triggers. We all do them, me included. Plant medicine can help you put those things down and look just a little bit more curiously at how you're showing up and choose to do it differently. And show up with intention on your next dose day and say, show me what I need to know after school today. Show me the way. Or if you're taking a tincture, cannabis counts in this category. It can be really enhancing and can serve as a healing tool. I'm specifically talking about mushrooms and psychedelics, but even CBD full spectrum hemp can help to calm the nervous system enough to be able to look at yourself and help you get past the stuff that's keeping you stuck. Detox your old stories. So there you have that. We're going to move into our breath work now, but I just want to review. Healing the body, detoxing the pathogens is going to give you more capacity and allow you to detox some of that trauma. And look, just having pathogens in your body is inherently traumatic. Having lived in black mold is trauma to your system. Receiving medicines that have hurt you in some cases for some of us, that's traumatic. Going through childbirth, that's traumatic, right? So no shame in it. And you can expand your capacity by detoxing some of that physical trauma from your body. At the same time, you can also detox and create more space in your emotional body and the part of you that's holding on to so many suppressed emotions that we don't even need to name right now. We just need to know, wow, there's a lot in there and I got to make a little bit of space so I have capacity. I got to detox with some breath work. Third and final, using plant medicine to rewire and re-script those old stories that are no longer serving you but are running on loop and just need a new pathway to turn you around. Okay, shall we do a little breath work to detox? Breath work, by the way, is also detoxifying to the body. It's not just for your emotional body. Incredible for rewiring the brain. Incredible. In fact, I encourage my clients to have a microdosing day when we do a breath work ceremony. The two of those together is like, pew, amazing detox. And if you're also taking care of yourself and taking some black oxygen organics or humic and fulvic acids or your supplements and water and clean food and getting outside at the same time, wow. Transformation. We are going to do the blow breath today in this video, the blow breath. And that is a simple inhalation through the mouth and an exhalation through the mouth, blowing out a candle, maybe like one birthday candle, okay? And it looks and sounds like this. We're gonna do this breath in 3 rounds, all through the mouth. You choose your speed, you choose your depth, but I will go ahead and coach you now for 3 rounds of the blow breath. In between each round, I will ask you to hold your breath for just a few moments and then give it a release and go back into the next round. You don't have to quiet your mind. You don't have to do anything but just sit up where you are and focus on your breath. Eyes open or eyes closed. Ready? We're going to go into our first round of the blow breath and go. You keep going with that blow breath, whatever pace feels good for you. It could look like, or it could be little and quick, but it's all through your mouth. That's it. Just one more moment. You're doing great. Almost there. And what I'm going to ask you to do is pull in a big inhalation through your nose and hold your breath at the top. Just holding that breath in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Excellent. Go back into that blow breath now. You're doing great. We're about halfway there with this exercise. Your only job is to just keep doing that blow breath in and out through the mouth. This is detoxifying your emotional body. It's detoxifying your physical body. And heck, it's even helping you to detoxify the chatter in your mind right now. We're hitting all of those notes. That's it. I'm going to ask you to hold your breath now one more time, except you're going to let all of your air out and hold at the bottom. Good. I'll be quiet for this one. Just notice how your body feels here, holding. And you're going to release this breath and take in a full breath in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Here's your final round. You got this. You're blowing away anger. You're blowing away that irritability. You're blowing away that annoying conversation that you just want to stop replaying in your head. I want you to stick with this breath for just a few more seconds here. Let it out. All of it. It might feel really hard right now. You might want to stop doing it, but give it just a couple more breaths, pushing through that and showing your system that you can do this. Final inhalation in through the nose all the way to the top. And hold. Notice how you feel here in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. And then go ahead and let that breath go on a sound if it feels good. Now just notice what's here for you. Feel yourself in your body, your amazing body, just a little bit detoxed perhaps from whatever was really agitating and at the top of your experience. You've got a little bit more capacity now, yeah, for your life, for your healing, to show up for you. So what do you think? Do you think the blow breath could support you? I'm going to challenge you to bring it into your experience. Sometimes I do it just when I'm starting to feel the overwhelm, right? Rise up. You can't do this wrong. You just want to exchange as much air as possible in and out of your mouth, and then give yourself the option to hold your breath there and just feel yourself, your magnificent, awesome self. I hope this video was helpful for you. Remember that it is possible to easily and quickly and effectively show up for yourself in tiny little increments to detox your body, to detox your emotions, to detox your mind, so that you can be in greater alignment with who you are and why you're here, and show up in this crazy world to be your awesome self. Let me know if this video was supportive for you. Leave a comment, drop me a line. I love to hear from all of you, and I try to respond to every single message that I receive. You can follow me on Instagram at my name, Rihanna Batiste, or on YouTube, Journey to Heal. I'd also love to see you on the podcast, Journey to Heal with Rihanna Batiste, everywhere that podcasts can be downloaded. I'm honored that you are following me on your journey to heal, and if there's something that I can do to support you with your breath and with plant medicine, I want to know it. I also want to extend an invite to you to join my 4-week transformational breathwork experience. You've literally just got to show up with me on Zoom and allow me to guide you through your own breathwork practice and in a sacred container in order to heal all of those things that I know you are showing up so desperately to heal every day, but need some support in order to do it. I've got that, and breath work is incredibly effective for all sorts of healing. Come detox with me starting October 27th. I can't wait to support you with your breath, and thank you. Thank you for doing the brave and awesome work of healing. I know it's not easy. I'm right over here doing it with you. Bye, guys.